I've said it a million times before, there's no such thing as the perfect car. You see, the perfect car has to do 0 to 62 in less than 5 seconds, do more than 150 miles an hour, achieve more than 100 miles per gallon, look amazing and take a lot of flat pack furniture. However, I've been told there's something that's very close to perfect, and unsurprisingly, it's German.
This is a Volkswagen Golf, the archetypal hatchback, the go-to for people looking for a sensible car that'll do all the things they need, like carry things and people and not be nasty to look at and go long distances without causing numb bums. You know, the usual stuff.
But this isn't any Golf, this is the Golf R. The all-wheel drive one, the fast one, the one that makes the GTI look positively sluggish. Under its nose is a 2-litre turbocharged engine with 310 horsepower and 280 pound-foot. 0 to 62 takes 5.1 seconds if you have the stick shift. It takes 4.6 if you have the DSG, like I do today. And its top speed, 155 miles an hour.
That is not slow. Yeah, I know a Golf GTI is also pretty quick and beautifully balanced and one of the best things out there, but if the GTI was a sandwich, it would be a ham and cheese. Does the job, fills you up, makes you feel warm and shiny inside. But the R?
Well, it's more of a hog roast, soft cheese, apple sauce, hyper mega super bread of a sandwich kind of thing. Basically the same, but also offers a lot more. What kind of more? Well,
as well as going like the clappers, the new Golf R comes with all of VW's jazzy new generation Golf stuff. So the instrument cluster is now all digital all the time and gives you plenty of info. The infotainment has been given an overhaul as well and it's pretty slick. It's the kind of update that means you've something to make people with the old one feel bad about themselves, but it's not something that'll change your life.
You also get a slightly updated front and rear to highlight the changes, which is good. I mean, the facelift is a little bit blink and you'll miss it, but it's still a handsome car. And actually, part of the Golf's appeal is that it's never ugly, it fits in everywhere. But the biggest appeal about this car is what lurks beneath.
Looking at this from a sensible point of view, this is a Golf at its heart, so it'll fit 5 people and a healthy slug of luggage on board, and it won't break down all that often. It's a VW, so they used to have a badge that didn't come with a smirk, admittedly less so now. But it's a simple family car for doing simple family things.
Right then, Golf R, what have you got for me? Well, 310 horsepower in something like a Golf is a lot. I can tell you it's a lot because, well, when you give it a little bit of a bootful, the rate at which it gathers its speed it's just silly, because you use all of its 310 horsepower and you start going round corners and you realise it's got lovely all-wheel drive grip, and then your face starts pulling a little bit and it just keeps gathering speed. You push back in your seat. 310 horsepower nowadays doesn't sound like all that much, which is a stupid thing to say, but when you consider McLaren now produces as its kind of staple car a 720 horsepower car, 300 horsepower is like the 150 horsepower hot hatches of way back when. But it's a serious amount of power, especially for something this size. The Golf GTI Performance I drove a while ago, that is pretty brisk. 0 to 62 in 6 and a bit seconds isn't slow. 150 odd miles an hour isn't slow. But this just, it's another level. The DSG transmission knocks the 0 to 62 time down to 4.6 seconds. In a Golf, it's a family hatchback. Once you learn it and get used to it, it's a really malleable, pliable car. It's really fun to drive. It's hilarious. And for the day-to-day, for a B-road blast or for schlepping through your favourite country lanes, very few things would be able to keep up with this, because they tend to be bigger and wider and heavier and a little bit more intimidating to drive, whereas this is just a Golf. The steering is decently weighted in its sport mode, and I really like the engagement that you get from it in that setting, but it's still not the most feedback-tacular of setups. That said, you know what the front wheels are doing to a pretty decent degree, so you can tell what it's doing at any given moment, and you can play with it, and you can adjust it, and you can enjoy it. Sports where things get fun, the gearbox gets super aggressive and super angry and quite jittery actually. If you put your foot down a little bit, it'll skip down a couple of cogs and fire you into the distance, and while doing so, it makes a lovely, lovely noise. You know, for a Golf to sound quite so raughty, no more so than the GTI. The GTI is quite a farty little thing in the best possible way, whereas this is a bit more gruff, it's a bit deeper and a bit meaner and angrier. The brakes are pretty decent, they're standard Steelies. The pedal's got a fairly decent travel to it, it's quite long, easy to play with, easy to fiddle with. That said, there is eventually a performance pack coming which gets you bigger brakes and a louder exhaust by Akrapovic. No one's told me how to pronounce it, but those people. So if you are thinking of buying one of these, I'd wait for the big brakes if you're going to track it. Otherwise, they're perfectly good for day-to-day use. Now, negatives-wise, it's kind of hard to pick fault with a Golf. Yeah, if you drive it like a lunatic, it will understeer a bit. The interior is a bit dark, some of the materials are very plasticky, but there's nothing not to like about it. Would it take down the likes of the A45, the RS3? Probably not, because those things are mentally quick themselves. Would it take down an S3, though? Well, considering they're the same, don't let Volkswagen hear you say that. What would you rather have, an Audi badge or a Volkswagen badge? It's a sensible way of going very, very quickly, and that's to be commended. So yeah, Golf R. It is the Golf GTI plus a little bit of sophistication. That's good.